Hey friends, today we'll study about cortisol. Now, what is cortisol? Cortisol is a stress hormone. So, whenever you are stressed, the hormone is released, cortisol hormone is released. So, whenever cortisol hormone is released, so high, as you can see in the board, whenever you are on stress, high stress is equal to high cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So your body releases cortisol. So whenever the level of cortisol is high in your blood, cortisol directly spikes ghrelin. Now what is ghrelin? Ghrelin is a hunger hormone. Okay, it signals your brain that it's hungry. That's the work of ghrelin hormone. So whenever your cortisol is high, it also spikes ghrelin. So even if your body is not hungry, but it spikes the ghrelin hormone, so your brain thinks that you're hungry. So you start eating, consuming more calories than you should. You start overeating, emotional eating starts happening. So you end up consuming more calories than you should. Next, whenever your cortisol is high, your leptin sensitivity decreases. Now, what is leptin? Leptin is a satiety hormone. What does satiety tell? Satiety hormones work is that it tells your brain, or it signals your brain that it is full. Now, when the leptin sensitivity will decrease, your brain will be less responsive to leptin. As a result, your brain will not be able to understand that you are full. So when even if you have consumed enough calories and you're full, but your brain is not getting the signal that you're full, so you are continuing to consume more calories. You're eating even when you're full. So so the bottom line is that you are eating more calories than you consume. When cortisol is more, it promotes gluconeogenesis. Now we studied gluconeogenesis in the last video. What is that? That your body makes sugar on its own. Liver is the organ which makes sugar on its own. It releases sugar. The sugar stored in the liver gets released in the blood. So more sugar in the blood, what happens? More insulin gets also released. More sugar, more insulin. So your pancreas will try to compensate by increasing by releasing more insulin. So more insulin in the blood, which is if glucose is elevated continuously, insulin will also be elevated. When insulin is constantly elevated, it leads to a situation called insulin resistance, where your body doesn't respond to insulin in the blood. So as a result, what happens? The insulin is not able to carry out its function of getting the glucose absorbed by the cells of the body. So insulin resistance happens. So whenever insulin resistance happens, your body's metabolism always shifts towards fat storage. So insulin resistance results in fat storage. Whenever cortisol is high, cortisol is a catabolic in nature. It breaks down muscles. High cortisol breaks down muscles. Less muscles in the bodies, less metabolic, your less resting metabolic rate. What is resting metabolic rate? Is that the number of calories that you burn at rest. So whenever your muscles in the bodies get reduced, your resting metabolic rate also get reduced, and as a result you burn less calories at rest. So what happens? So when stress goes up, stress goes up, cortisol goes up, it also spikes ghrelin with itself. So ghrelin is a hunger hormone. You start feeling more hungry, you end up eating more calories than you should consume. When cortisol goes up, leptin sensitivity decreases. Why leptin? So you, even if you're full, but your brain doesn't understand that you're full, so you continue to eat more calories, and you at the end you consume more calories than you should have. When cortisol increases, it promotes gluconeogenesis, more glucose in the blood, more insulin. As a result, insulin sensitivity happens. Insulin sensitivity always promotes fat storage by changing the metabolism of our body. More cortisol, more breakdown of muscle, less resting metabolic rate. Less metabolic rate is equal to less calories burned at rest. So all these factors leads to your fat storage. Here you consume more calories, here you consume more calories, here your insulin sensitivity leads to fat storage around the abdominal area, here you burn less calories. So all the factors leads to consumption of more calories, leads to fat storage, and leads to less calories burned. So this is how, when your stress hormone is more, you burn less calories, you leads to fat storage, and you end up eating more. This is the reason why you should maintain or lower down your cortisol so as to not better your fat burning process. So cortisol is very important. So even if you're working out more, even if you are eating less calories, even if you're working out 3 to 4 times a week, you are hitting your step goal, still you are not able to lose your fat because of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. This is how cortisol affect all your hormones in the body, and it leads to fat storage over a period of time. So you should have proper sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours of undisturbed sleep. You should practice meditation, yoga to lower your stress levels in the body. You should have a walk in the nature, in the sunlight, to have a better circadian rhythm. So all this will lower your cortisol. When cortisol get lower, all your hormones will work properly. When your hormones will work properly, your metabolism will work properly, and this will not lead to any more fat storage in your body.